just 2 more boxes to go, and this one I'm really excited about because it's full of Doll's House books. Look at them all, and it weighs an absolute ton. So I'll put the camera back over at the desk and we'll just look at them one by one, and it might be that we have another episode where we actually look properly at all of these lovely books and see which projects are in them. So let's just pick this first one out and go back over to the desk. So this first one is called Doll's House Style by Kath Dalmeny, and I've heard of her before actually. Step-by-step illustrated guide to making. Oh, I'm going to have fun looking through these. What's that? Tudor rooms there. We're not going to be able to go through all of these books now, but I'll just have a quick sort of flick through. There's some really nice projects in there. The next one is Shep Statman, Doll's House Furnishings for the Bedroom and Bath. Sort of illustrated tutorials book. All quite really sort of simple pieces in there, but I always like these books because you can flick through them and you might get a couple of ideas for your own projects. Certainly that bed on the front looks nice and cosy. Next one, similar thing again, Eileen Folk, needlework designs for miniature projects. That could be quite interesting. I always like to find needlework designs in magazines and things that you can incorporate into your own designs, even if you don't sort of copy the whole piece. You know, I like to use like perhaps a flower or a swirl or something in my design, but there's lots in there. Really nice. That's that one. We've got the Doll's House decorator, Vivian Bolton. I've seen so many of these books online when I've sort of been looking on Amazon. Look at that stove, a little bit different to the one we made. Nice idea, nice little shell mirror there. I might take a handful of these into the living room this evening and start having a look through. So that's that one. Next one, Doll's House window treatment, so curtains by Eve Harwood. And I've never really had a go at making, you know, draped curtains or swags or anything like that. So hopefully there'll be something like that in here where I can pick up a few tips. Pelmets and things, they look quite nice. Balances. And lovely books. What's next? Doll's House Shopkeeper. Well, that's nice. Might get a few tips from there for our little harbour homewares. Look at that one. I like looking through books like this. Might get some 1940s inspiration as well. Making Doll's House Interiors. Carol and Nigel Lodder. Heard of them before. I'm building up quite a nice collection of Doll's House books, just because I just love looking through them. And this will certainly build up my collection nicely, but I will need to make room on my shelf. So that's that one. We've got Victorian miniature fashions here. And I haven't done a lot of clothes making, but that's something that I would like to have a go at. That maybe looks a bit big for that doll. But it still gives you the sort of basic techniques of adding lace and ribbon and things. Okay, let's pop that one there as well. Doll's Houses by Mitchell Beasley, sorry. That looks nice as well. Very sort of traditional book. Lots of the old houses in, which I love looking at and reading about. The Norwich Baby House. Uphook. I think I wrote about this one for a magazine. I did a feature on it. I've seen that one at Nostell Priory. I've seen that in real life. It's really nice. It's got glass over it, so I couldn't get a proper photograph of it, which is understandable, but you can't get nice photographs. Yeah, this is a lovely book. This is just all about old dolls' houses. I think I've seen this one as well. Went to an exhibition at the Victoria and Albert Museum of Childhood in London, and I'm pretty sure this one was there. It doesn't actually say what it's called in the description there, but I'm pretty sure I remember that one because I really liked that pale cream brickwork. Well, I'll have fun looking through that later. And again, really great for ideas, those sort of books of dolls' houses. The Decorated Doll's House by Jessica Ridley, How to Design and Create Miniature Interiors. I feel like it's Christmas. A shaker bedroom. Shaker furniture is really nice. I like the sort of shaker style. It's all very sort of simple lines, and they use lovely fabrics and everything. It's all just very sort of simple, homemade pieces, which I really like making as well. Another really nice book. I hope the light's not too bright on there, but I'm really just having a flick through because I just can't wait until later. There's real people in there. Actually, that looks like George Clooney. I'd like to actually do that, get a photograph of myself in my doll's house kitchen or something. That's a lovely room, isn't it? All that sort of pale yellow and cream. And I've just ordered some fabric like that with those vines on. Making and dressing doll's house dolls, so another clothing one here. To Pat, all best wishes. Sue Albmion. Oh no, Sue Atkinson. Oh, it's signed by the author. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, so costumes all sort of going through the different periods here. Lovely book again. Okay, and then we've got Victorian dolls' houses here. Paperback book by Nick Forder. And I do actually like the Victorian style. It was, when I first got into dolls' houses, it was really popular, and then it sort of went out of fashion a bit, but I think it's coming back because a lot of people, and some of you on here as well, have said about Victorian furniture. And when you sort of watch anything that's got that Victorian theme, I'm always looking and thinking, well, that would make a nice doll's house, that would make a nice miniature, or I'd like to make that in, you know, in 12th scale. They really do have some nice pieces. So that's another project we can think about in the future. I think that's the trouble with this hobby. There's just so much you can do, isn't there? And you just need to be doing it every minute of every day to be able to fit it all in. I really like that unit. Typical sort of Victorian unit. Very sort of grand and large. But that's another really nice book. I mean, of course, the other thing we could do is do, as I've said before, sort of series of room boxes in different periods, different styles. But this just gives you an idea of the sort of furniture that was popular at the time. So I'll certainly be looking out for some 1940s books as well. And if you know of any, I've got the... A lot of people point out to me the... Is it Jane Harrop? The 1930s and 40s. I'm just having a quick look on my bookshelf. Yeah, 30s and 40s in 12th scale by Jane Harrop. I'm going to bring that over actually. This is one of my books that I already had. And there are some really lovely projects in here. Now, I like to use the books for inspiration, but you know, obviously don't want to well, I suppose we can use some of the tutorials. It's not, I'm not selling it, so it wouldn't be sort of breach of copyright. But even sort of just using these sort of books for inspiration, as I've said before, it's really good to have them. These, I mean, my grandmother had these chairs around her table with those sort of leather seats, or leather seat part on them. There's some really nice kitchen projects in there as well, and I know lots of people love Jane's cupboard. Can't think what they're called now, you know, but those sort of typical 40s cupboards with a sort of pull down hatch. Clothes horse. Got a cooker there, and there are some nice beds and things as well. So that's a really lovely book. So I've got that one, but if you know of any others that are sort of typically 30s or 40s or wartime, then do let me know and I'll have a look out for them. There's another little book here by Patricia King, Doll's House Fireplaces and Stoves. That looks interesting. I'm sure we'd be able to find some 1940s things in there. Again, another one for some ideas. Put that there. Tudor dolls' houses, and again, Tudor is another style that I really like. Another sort of really sort of simple style. There's lots of information in there by the looks of it, more than sort of tutorials and things. But these are really interesting to give you an idea of the sort of outside of the house, what that would look like then. That's a nice book. And then the final one, The Complete Guide to Decorating Techniques. William Davis, Caroline List and Nick Forder. We had another Nick Forder in there, didn't we? That was the Victorian Doll's House book. Another nice little sized book. That's nice. Look at that wall shelf, wall cupboard. That sort of metal mouldings on the glass, that's really nice. Tudor, more dolls' houses. What a lovely book. Adding ridge tiles and roof tiles. Creating brickwork. Well, that's interesting. Parquet flooring, wall panelling, lots of really nice projects in here. This might even be a book we could maybe go through in another episode and have a go at some of the projects. The sort of distressing, I certainly need to learn, you know, more techniques of actual you know, like creating marbling and all things like that. That's one thing that I do want to learn. Looks really good actually. We could try some of these in another episode. Let me know if that's something you would be interested in. And also I thought in the past about doing episode about Doll's House books, because I've got quite a few already. That was before I knew that these were on their way. So we could have a look at some of the books and go through them and have a look at the projects. Actually, while we're on the topic of books, let me show you another book that I've already got in my collection, which I think you might be interested in. So it's the Wartime Scrapbook by Robert Opie. And I don't know if I've shown you this before, or maybe I've just mentioned that I had it, and I've got a collection of these from Victorian up to 1950s. And they're really interesting in that they're just packed with information and, you know, sort of the propaganda posters from that time, the Women's Land Army posters that were used. It's got in here bits from ration books, books and leaflets that were around at the time, children's toys, postcards and things that you could have bought at the time. And it's just really, really interesting. So we'll certainly be using this for research into our project. The Old Woman's Own magazines from that time. That is dated February 19th, 1943. Ladies' fashions at the time. It's just really interesting. I love all the sort of food pictures as well, because we'll be able to try and find some of these labels and recreate all the food. And that's why I quite like the idea of having like an open larder in our 1940s kitchen, so that we can have it all on show, similar to this. Oh, that does seem a lot of food for sort of one wartime cupboard. Chocolate of the time. More posters. Keep it under your hat. Careless talk cost lives. So again, lots of really, really useful information and a really lovely book as well. I just thought I'd show you that while we're having a look at books. But let me know if you'd like to do a sort of book episode. Maybe we can share, you know, our favourite book titles and things for, you know, dolls, houses and miniatures. So we've got one more box to go, the biggest of them all. So heavy I can't even lift it onto the work table, so I'll just take bits out and we'll have a look what we've got. So our first box, an old shoe box, is filled with dolls. And they're really lovely. I don't use dolls in my displays, just because I always think it takes away from the realism of a display just to have a sort of doll stood motionless in a room. But I do love dolls and used to collect miniature dolls. And I know a lot of people do like using dolls in their displays. Look at all these, little China doll there. She's like a little Christmas angel or something. And some of them are even still in boxes. Very dapper looking gentleman there. Another gentleman in grey. And I think they're all poseable as well. They've got the sort of part wire legs. So I think you could probably sit them down. The arms move. I had a few of these in my collection. These little sort of China babies. Another one still in the box there. Chef. And a maid with something all over her apron. So the bride. So many of them. I think she perhaps collected them. Funny looking little baby there. I'm sort of rushing through these a bit because the camera battery's flashing again. A little umbrella there. And lots of little ones as well. Lots of children. It's a bit scary. I don't know if we're going to get through the box before the battery goes. If it just stops, you'll know why. A little tiny baby there. That's quite cute. Little sailor boy. I think he's meant to have a beard. Just looks like he's got a bit of a misshaped face there. Another little baby, and then a separate brolly there. Another brolly. And some more boxed ones. pop all those back in, and then I think I'm going to need to change the battery. We've also got in here some carpet, so some stair carpet there, some pink tiles on a plastic sheet, and then some pieces of carpet as well. And this is actually called luxury carpet, and it's the thicker one rather than that sort of thin felt that you can get. That's a nice sort of claret colour there, and then a dusky pink, also that sort of thicker carpet. These are nice working lamp posts or street lamps. Also got here some strip flooring. It's the slightly thinner strips, the sort of 6mm or 1/4 of an inch strips, and some thicker ones at the back there that have been, looks like they've been cut from the sheet, but they could certainly come in handy. I'll fill those with my wood supplies in my cupboard. I've got a box within a box here with lots of sort of mixed bits. So we've got one of the wooden stoves here with little opening cupboards, pull down doors, and another bathroom set, again another sort of painted china set, the bath, the little sink unit, and the lavatory. I'm never keen on these seats, the ones that you've just got the sort of one piece, because you would have a little bit underneath there. Bit of dust. What's this pot of? I'm scared to open it. It looks like earth, or mud. There's no labels or anything on it. So that's some sort of scenic material. I'm going to leave the lid on that. And then a little hanging lantern set. And that's wired. That's quite nice. And then some little, got a couple of little fireplaces in there. Let's have a look. So resin fireplaces. And some wooden bits. I've got a little mannequin there. And some little terracotta pots. A poor old chicken there on a platter, and some wooden clogs. I haven't seen the clogs before. That must be quite an old product. Oops, pop those back in there. And then we've got some little, what scale is this? Is it 48th scale, I think? Doesn't say on it. I'm pretty sure that's 48th scale little furniture sets for different rooms. It's got a kitchen there and a dining room by the look of it. A bedroom. Oh, sorry, a bathroom. And maybe a little hallway or dining room. They're quite nice, aren't they? I don't think I would use these. They're little sort of plastic sets. I haven't got a 48 scale project in mind at the moment. Put those back there, and then we've got a little wooden cupboard. Another sort of large top bit on it there. And a black fireplace around. And I like these. I have had these in the sort of white or ivory in my doll's house, and they're really nicely detailed. And that's that. And then we've got another little box here. Not sure what's in here. Something that's wrapped. Oh, it's a little a well kit. A garden well kit. Oh, that could be what that wooden part was for that I found in the other box. Unless it's all in there. Is there a picture of it there? Let's have a look. Oh, just that sort of diagram. Well, that could be fun to make. Nice little kit. You've got the glue in there as well. A little bucket and the spindles for winding. Little roof ridge tiles there. I won't unpack all of it because it's all nice and neat in there. Back in. That's quite fun. We've got another box of wooden bits here, and this to me looks as though it could also be from the Mountfield. Well, I'm not sure. That's rather a large. Oh no, this is another separate little kit. I think this is a conservatory kit. I'm pretty sure it is, you know. That's a conservatory kit. Goodness. Look at that. I can't see any instructions, but they could be at the bottom of the box. But that could be fun to make. I just thought that was another sort of box of random bits, but it is actually a little kit. Looks like, just sort of glancing at it, it looks as though it's all there. I don't know if maybe Shri started painting that, or if it came, that bit comes in white maybe. And the final thing in that large box is a second conservatory kit. And here we have actually got the instructions, which is good, because the roof alone looks rather complicated. But that could make quite a nice little project, conservatory with some furniture in it. It's got a list of contents as well, so I can go through each box and make sure that everything is in there. Well, that's quite good. And that is it. I don't know about you, but I feel absolutely exhausted after going through all of those boxes. But joking aside, I hope that you enjoyed watching me unpack them as much as I enjoyed actually doing the unpacking. I really hope you enjoyed those episodes in which I gave an introduction to the Mountfield. Now, if you would like to join me for the series, the 1940s Doll's House, which will be broadcast over on my Patreon channel starting on the 10th of July, just head over to patreon.com/littlebitsandpieces by Julie and you'll find my page. And from there you can join and decide which level you'd like to join at. But if you do want to follow along with the 1940s Doll's House, then you need to join at Tier 2. If you like a third episode every month, which is a furniture tutorial, then join at Tier 3. Now, if you just join on a monthly basis, you can leave at any time. So if you decide that the project isn't for you, then you can just cancel your membership. But I really do hope you'll come and join us because we have a lot of fun over on the channel, and I am so excited about this 1940s Doll's House project. So I hope to see you there, and I hope to welcome you very soon as a little bitser. But for now, take care and I'll see you soon. Bye!